what within the healthcare bucket do you like more, or what is the first amongst the equals? Because there are like 3 or 4 or 5 different subsects within this whole healthcare space. So tell us, what do you like, and tell us what is the thesis, if at all, behind some of the US generic makers, because I know you have exposure there. I'm just trying to understand if there is more beyond the US generic companies as well.
So our exposure is more to companies who have much larger India presence. We are far more bullish on the India piece in the healthcare. Of course, a lot of these larger players do have offshore presence, whether US or maybe some other markets. But from our perspective, it's more India space that we like, and we think that that's where we see a significant growth opportunity over the next 3 to 5 years. And therefore, our view of pharma or healthcare has not changed much. We believe now people are starting to warm up to the sector. My sense is it's a long way to go because there's a very long structural runway for growth for healthcare in the country.
Interesting. Okay, two-part question, actually three-part question to this. 3 follow-ups to this. Follow-up number 1, when you talk about the India-focused piece, just so that our viewers are also completely on board with what you're saying, is it the drug manufacturers that you're more constructive on, or is it the alternates on the healthcare space, be it hospitals, be it diagnostics, so on and so forth?
Currently, our exposure to the drug manufacturer is the largest. However, we are still also constructive on the hospital space. We think it's very fragmented, it's going to consolidate. Our overall sense on both drug manufacturers as well as hospitals is that the markets are very fragmented and will continue to consolidate for a long time. So this consolidation is where we see the largest opportunity, because if you look at the drug manufacturers, the top 20 companies would control maybe less than 45% or 50% of the market. To us, that's a huge opportunity and it's a very large market. So you have a very large opportunity there. Similarly, for hospitals, we see a large opportunity for consolidation. So we think that overall, the healthcare space has a significant structural long-term opportunity in multiple pockets, not just in one area. But today, for us, the drug manufacturers or pharma companies, as they're called, is the largest exposure.
Got it. I was talking to a private equity healthcare focused fund sometime last week, and their thesis kind of tied in with something that I remember you had spoken about as well to us on healthcare, which is that the evolution of branded healthcare, be it hospitals, diagnostics, or the drug manufacturers, and how building of brands, distribution and FMCG like thesis might happen in some of these as well. I faintly remember, Rushabh, you telling me something to that effect. So please kind of tell us about that thesis, if you will, and if you can, and how does typically something like this play out? I'm trying to think how you think about it in the first place.
If you look at it very simplistically, if you look at the top 10 pharma companies, the top company has less than 10% market share or thereabouts. I'm just giving you some very basic statistics, and there is a long growth opportunity there. India is only going to get older. We have 140 crore people to cater to, and healthcare is only going to become a significantly larger portion of discretionary spends for most people. So if you look at as we go from $2,300, $400 per capita to $5,000 per capita, I think healthcare will be one sector which will see significant delta in consumer spends. And keep in mind, India is still a self-paying market to a large extent. So that is also going to change as insurance kind of penetrates deeper into the market. The other is, we don't have so much of an OTC classification for many of the so-called products which globally are available off the shelf. For example, a very simple thing like a paracetamol or a pain relieving product. So I think a lot of, and government is seriously thinking about clear definition for OTC products which can be sold through normal modern trade, through mom and pop shops kind of thing. So our sense is that's also going to be a very large area for growth for many companies, where I think they will also become very large brand within the pharma space. So that's really the thesis, if you recollect, we would have spoken about when we spoke last time. So we see a multiple levers of growth within the healthcare space over the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay, my final question on this, do you see a possibility of multiple levers of growth and some bit of valuation upticks also to come into the drug manufacturers from where we are to where we will be 2027, 28, 30, whatever time frame you think of right now?
So I recollect when we bought into FMCG in 2012, 2013, these companies are also trading at much lower multiples than they are today. For healthcare, the starting point is much higher in terms of absolute profitability. And therefore, we think that if this consolidation plays out, this growth plays out, our sense is there is a significant opportunity for to at least for the domestic healthcare to re-rate over the next 3-5 years. And more importantly, there is a structural growth opportunity. So even if there is no re-rating, you will see a growth, large growth opportunity. If there is a re-rating, it will be like an added cherry on the cake.